326. We have Raamdeo Agrawal joining us now, Chairman and Co-founder at Motilal Oswal Financial Services. Raamdeo ji, thanks very much for joining us. I mean, this is the market, of course, voting with their feet, shock and disbelief for now. A lot of the pre-positioning from yesterday being taken out, I mean, would have been out by now. But your first thoughts as you look at these numbers trickling in?
Yeah, Prashant, this is a classic risk of investing in the markets, equity markets. So very clearly, the risk was not visible for quite some time. For the last 3-4 years, it was looking as if there is no risk in the market and there is only buy on the dips or whatever. So now this deep cut is coming in, and it is because the expectations set were at a very different level altogether in terms of very large majority for BJP itself, and I mean we are talking about closer to 360, 370 seats for NDA. So there is a huge gap, and I think okay, whatever little they can make up in final tally, but it can be either way in the sense that in the final tally, when the trends are bad, typically final tally is also conform to the bigger trend. So I would think that what is visible on the screen, and market has voted with a kind of with a bang, and 40 lakh crores of loss. That's quite significant. So the issue is that right now there is no buyer. There is a blood on the street right now. So it reminds me of Buffett's quote. I mean, be greedy when others are fearful. So I think those kind of thoughts are coming now. But it's quite a shocking mandate. It is a kind of fractured mandate. There is no majority to any party. But good thing is that we have a NDA coalition claiming they will form the government, and BJP is going to be the large party, 240, 250 seats, maybe even 250 upwards kind of thing. So I think on the whole, everything is not lost. But I think there is a big loss in the political dialogue, and maybe what the politicians will do in the incoming budget, or the way they will manage the economy.
Okay. Just one question, just to follow on. If, say, the NDA lands up at about 300, I mean, there is political continuity, as you said, whatever has to happen will happen today, and from tomorrow it perhaps becomes a bit more settled? I mean, there will be obviously groups of stocks which are where there is additional pressure, whatever, it will happen. But as a whole, you think that will be the case?
Yeah. Domestic investors are fine in the sense that mutual funds and domestic investors, they are fine. I mean, I think the real issue is that what the FIs will do. In any case, they were selling. India was looking expensive to them, and now with this slightly uncertain political environment, they will be even more emboldened to sell. That's my sense. So I would keep my fingers crossed what would be their activity and what they will do, and hence for a few days it will be fluid. Market will be fluid, and it will take time. And even the people who have incurred losses, they also need to absorb the losses and get back to the ring. So I think it's a lot of mess right now in the market.
So Raamdeo, when you say it's going to take time for things to settle down, it's still fluid. Do you think till budget, markets could be in this tenuous state right now?
No, it's yeah. I mean, let's see the final. There are a lot of things like today itself. Let's get it over. What is the final verdict? Then what is going to the dispensation in terms of the PM, and then what is the kind of coalition, what the coalition partners are saying, who else further joins here. So all these things will keep happening, and then finally once the government formation starts, maybe in a week's time, then I think by that time all the pessimism will be over, and then we'll start looking at again India, because India has the momentum, that 8.5% growth, that is not going away. Your broad leadership of NDA is not going away. So there is a lot still. I mean, in this pessimistic environment, there is a lot positive also. I mean, you can't, please don't underestimate the 8% momentum in the economy. It takes a lot to bring that kind of momentum, particularly in a global environment which is not that supportive. So clearly, there is a lot going for the economy, and now, and the more or less same kind of government is going to come with little less bargaining power. So let's see how they negotiate, how do they manage the economy, and but my sense is that negative thoughts will max is going to happen today and maybe tomorrow, and then I think things will start stabilizing.
Okay. Raamdeo, you know, on that point, in the past couple of years, what retail investors have also focused on is their mid-cap and small-cap portfolio. Given what we're seeing on the screen, what would your recommendation be to a retail investor who is heavy on mid and small caps at this point? Do you lighten your portfolio, or do you stay through this volatility, and if so, for how long?
Yeah, you have to stay through this crisis if you are a true investor, because as an investor you can't be you can't be selling low and buying high. Otherwise, it will be disaster. So this is a part of the total process. I mean, if you have made 4x, 5x in last 3-4 years, then some 20-30% you have to give in, and that is where the patience is required to be an investor. That bad time has to be faced in your portfolio, and this is the bad time. So have patience and have courage. That India's story has gone nowhere. I mean, I am pretty sure whichever the government, whichever the whatever is the whatever little coalition or something, I think broad India's story is not derailed, and everybody wants development. Maybe a little bit of the consumption, the rural distress, and even the monsoon has been very bad in last 2-3 years. Currently, a monsoon will be better. So I think a lot of good things are happening. Just that the expectations set till yesterday in the markets were like gigantic, and today we are getting complete shock, and that shock is being corrected in the market, and maybe some more correction in next 2-3 days or 4 days, and then the India story again continues.
You know, you're absolutely right. But also, as they keep saying, and as we've been pointing out, it is not done till it's done. You know, the pollsters are going to have to do some serious introspection and some serious talking through as to what happened as far as some of those crucial battleground states are concerned, but that's a separate story altogether. And you know, Raamdeo, I completely agree with you. The India story is robust. The India consumption story, the India infrastructure story, and no alliance, whether it is the NDA or the India alliance, is going to want to upset the growth trajectory, or is going to want to upset the growth path that India has been on. You see it in state after state, even in states where the BJP is not in power and you actually have the Congress or you have other parties in power. They're all competing to draw in investments. They're all competing to draw in foreign direct investment. Look at the state of Tamil Nadu, battling it out with Gujarat, etc., to try and draw in investors, to try and get FDI in. Look at Telangana, similar story playing out there when it was the BRS or now it's the Congress. They're doing exactly the same thing. The BRS had made Davos their big investment pitch, and now the Congress government under Reema Reddy is doing exactly that. So I think we need to be mindful of the fact that governments, irrespective of whether they're at the state or the center, understand that they need to deliver on the promise of growth. They need to deliver on the aspirations. It's a young population. In fact, another very interesting statistic that the exit polls threw up, and we will have to bear out whether those match with the final numbers, was that there was dissonance in the youth in the 18 to 25 bracket, especially in states where the BJP is in power. They were unsettled or wanting more and impatient. So these are many factors that governments, whether at the center or the state, recognize and realize that they have to deliver on the promise of growth. They have to deliver on the opportunity of jobs, irrespective of who is in power. But the tally at this point in time, and you know, comments coming in, but we need to verify those on Chandrababu Naidu's comments. Remember, he is a potential kingmaker given the TDP's performance in this election. And remember, he has also now dislodged Jagan Reddy, on his way to dislodging Jagan Reddy in the state assembly. Andhra Pradesh went to the state polls as well as, of course, the Lok Sabha elections. So Chandrababu Naidu is going to be a key man to watch out for. Of course, a veteran politician and has always been an investor's favorite and investor's delight. So we'll have to see what he makes of this electoral result. 240 to the BJP, 293 to the NDA, 229 to the India Alliance, and 93 for the Congress. UP is where the script has gone off track for the BJP. The India Alliance now at 42, the NDA at 36. We are going to take a quick break. The Sensex down 7%. We're back in a moment with more.
Welcome back. Well, as we speak, the markets are under pressure, but just to get you a programming note, welcome to CNBC TV 18 HDFC Sky election headquarters for the big verdict today. Well, as we speak, the markets we went down to around the 21,300 odd, and we have bounced off that. So we have bounced close to 200, 250 points odd. We're in conversation with Raamdeo Agrawal. Raamdeo, good day and good to see you in. Well, we were talking about various scenarios, but I think as of now, even though the markets are down close to 8% approximately, we're still factoring in an NDA-led government, right? What if that isn't the case? Then do you think there'll be far more pain?
Please repeat your question.
If, as of now, with this 8% drop, you're factoring in an NDA-led government still. What if these numbers, don't plan out as we're seeing it as of now? There's 290, 295 approximately for the NDA, 285 to 295. And if that's not the case and it's not an NDA-led government, then, will there be further pain from here on?
Yeah. So right now, market is clearly pricing NDA-led government.
Okay.
And clearly, BJP to be a dominant biggest party with 240, 245 seats.
Yes.
So that is why the market is still holding out. It's not a complete rout for the NDA. So if for some reason you say that in next 2-3 hours, if by chance that entire scene changes and there is non-NDA government, I think then of course there will be yet another correction or upheaval in the market. But I think right now we have to see 294, 295 NDA and 240 seats of BJP. We should talk as the flow of events are. I think that itself is pretty big downgrade from yesterday's expectation.
Right.
And now we have to start counting our pluses in the sense that what I would say, let's find good things in current mandate. One is that it is still NDA, so we'll get broadly the same government. I hope Modi ji leads the NDA and BJP, this formation. But then, there is again a way to manage the government in a slightly different way. When you don't have your own majority. So maybe a little more compromising, maybe some of the things they have to do for consumption or rural distress, which might be different. But basically, India's story, which is growing at about 8%, that seems intact because the corporate profits, ultimately stock market is all about corporate profits.
Yes.
I don't see in this mandate still major threat to the corporate profits or the way economy is going to work. I'm not seeing that threat. Yes, politically, what dialogue we would like to hear is not there, and particularly the people like FIs and all, they may have a little more sentimental reaction to this, and maybe they might dump a few $1 billion worth of stock in next 5-10 days, but that might throw, and they are the guys also, they are looking for this break to get in because they missed out on India big time. They are holding in India from 21-22% has come down to 16%. So maybe this kind of break, they might enter in big time. So you don't know what is going to happen, but I would think that another 5-10% correction and markets will look very healthy with the 8% GDP growth rate.
Okay, all right, Raamdeo, since you're saying that we're looking for opportunities even in this sort of a market, and as you highlighted, if the mandate is not what it is, then there could be some kind of, push for the rural themes and the consumption themes as well. Just to put out a data point, HUL in the last 4 years has done nothing. Today we're talking about market capitalization erosion of 40 lakh crore. HUL is up close to 5% virtually at the high point of the day. So would you think some of these FMCG names that have actually not done much, suddenly they come back on the buy list?
No, it's too early. Maybe people are playing defensive because you are losing everywhere. So where is the place to hide? Maybe some of these defensives like some pharma companies, maybe HUL and all. And they might be right also in terms of the change in the trend. This is quite a significant thing. I had not noticed it, but saying that it is up by $100 and 5% on such a large stock, clearly that market is saying that some changes in offering for sure. So yes, that's how the market is a wonderful place where the one thing is never permanently right. So they are seeing the churn of the sectors which have not performed, particularly the consumption-led sectors, that might come into vogue, and all the capex-led sector which are kind of a grossly overperformed or outperformed, and with a literally blindingly people were buying into that. There could be some correction, and the sectors which had not performed, they will come back, provided the economy, which is growing at about 8%, that momentum continues. And I think whatever Sarkar comes, I think everybody would like to not only do it at grow the economy at 8%, but actually grow at 8.5–9%. And since it's NDA itself, I don't see any reason why one should doubt at this juncture, as things stand, that economic growth and corporate profit growth is in danger at all.
Right. Raamdeo, just to give our viewers an indication of the comments that have started to come in now in the JDU, leader speaking to our sister channel saying that we are with the NDA alliance and we will form the government with the BJP. So that's the word coming in there as far as the JDU, which is of course Nitish Kumar's party in Bihar, delivering the goods as far as the NDA alliance is concerned. 293 now for the NDA, 238 for the BJP, 229 for the India alliance. In UP, it's now 41 for the India alliance versus 37 for the NDA. Anurag Thakur, the Information and Broadcasting Minister, fighting from Himachal Pradesh from the constituency of Hamirpur, has won. So that is another clear win that's come in. That's not a lead, it's a win. So Anurag Thakur has won from Hamirpur. We'll have to see what's happened to Kangana Ranaut from Mandi. She was up against Vikramaditya Singh. Whether there has been, whether she has won her debut election or not, we will get you updated on that. But Raamdeo, you know, going back to the point that you were making, that the India story continues to be robust, the momentum build will continue. But specific themes and, you know, the PSU theme through the course of the last 5 years, specifically through NDA 2, has been one of the big themes for the market. Forget privatization, etc. But the PSU theme has been a big theme, specifically as far as the markets are concerned. What would your read now be on that?
Yeah, I think somehow this PSU thing, which was languishing for 15 years, I mean, literally it had become dead. I mean, irrespective of whether it's good or bad, it was dead and out. And then post-COVID, all the PSU banks, they started doing well, and they were hands-off in terms of managing these banks from the Delhi. So clearly, even the performance improved, and it became darling of the market because the stocks were available. Literally, they had become penny stocks. So they had 2P multiple, 3P multiple. So clearly, I mean, in last 3-4 years post-COVID, from 2020 onwards, these have been the huge wealth creators for the retail masses who got into those PSU stocks. And yesterday, when this 400, 350, 60 expectation got built, in fact, that was the eye of the storm in the sense that maximum piling on happened in the PSU stocks. So I think today there is a disappointment, and they're just giving up whatever gains were there in last 1 week or so in the expectation around the rally. But I don't see any reason why the prospect, whatever is the prospect, fundamental prospect for these companies, will undergo any major change. But the over expectation which had happened, or the squeeze in terms of demand which has happened, a lot of lofty expectations were built, that will definitely get subsided.
So Raamdeo, while the prospect for PSUs is still very promising over the longer term, long-term investors do have the option to churn their portfolio, because the current mandate suggests the loss of political dialogue and they may need to compromise. So would you recommend booking profits in, say, PSUs where you made a lot of money and reallocating that money into consumption, which could be the new focus area?
It's too early to say anything on this because it's a very dynamic situation right now. We are not even 24 hours into whatever is the mandate, and even mandate is not finally done in the sense that we need to wait for another hour or so that where exactly it settles, what is the contour of contour, because still BJP is the largest party with 240 seats, so they will have the say, and alliances would also play the ball with them. So maybe the same thing will continue what was there earlier, just in the outgoing Lok Sabha. So I think we need to watch a lot. I think I'm more concerned not so much about the sectoral thing. I'm more concerned about will it impact the economy per se. I don't think the economy will get impacted. The broad story of India still continues. The broad retail revolution which is on, that will also continue. And hence, yes, there is a shock today, and the shock may continue for a few more days. But I think this is a great correction which was overdue for a very long time. Okay, it has happened in an unfortunate situation, but this is a great correction. I would think it is a correction which was very desirable, and it has happened, and it is happening right now. So there will be people who will be looking for, maybe FIs would also come in and start fishing in Indian markets.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And, you know, a fund manager I was talking to 2-3 days back, he kind of made similar points. And this is before exit polls or anything. He said, well, whatever the result, companies over the last couple of decades have grown mostly sort of not because of politics, but despite politics, right? So that's a slightly zooming out philosophical way of looking at things. But that would be true in the longer term. Right now, here and now, you know, as you said, we are reacting to, you know, the verdict which is coming in. So that shock is there. By the way, I have to point out that the market has recovered about 600 points from the day's low, and we're down about 1390 points. I mean, it's fast changing, 50-60 points coming and going very, very quickly. Two things, Raamdeo ji. One is, you said, I noticed you said a couple of more $1 billion, perhaps FIIs next couple of days on the sell side possible. And then other thing you said 5-10% from here. Possible. Just sort of contextualize that. Both those things. FIs have been selling in any way. So is this... yeah, go on.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that is most likely to continue, because when they were selling, BJP government was very much in the office, and the expectation was that even a stronger BJP government is going to come in. Despite that, they were selling. Now, story is actually somewhat weaker, that we don't have a full majority BJP government, though a large minority in the sense that 240-245 seats, and coalition is there. So we have a same government dispensation. Some more coalition partners will be there. So I think the economic management would not change that much. I mean, of course, some of the what you need to do in a growing economy at 8%, you have a lot of leeway for even taking care of wherever the stress is. And I think this government has, and what happens is the government which is there in the power, they have to face the brunt of, say, bad monsoon. If the rural India has a very bad monsoon for 2-3 years, I mean, the stress is coming now and they're feeling the heat of that. So, so I think good monsoons also can help a lot. But, yeah. Hello? Hello, Prashant?
Yes, Raamdeo, please complete that point.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that let's not read, I mean, today what is happening in the market is a lot to do with what happened yesterday. And the expectation, misled expectation was set. And so I think it will take maybe today and tomorrow again. And then I think we'll start finding the good things about it. And we'll get into we'll get over it, and we'll get about seeing the formation of new government, new budgetary expectations, all those things will start. So my sense is that economy is growing well, and nothing is going to disturb the economic momentum which we have.
Oh, yes, Raamdeo, appreciate you joining us, but please